One of the things that I love about OnlyFans management is that it seems to be an excellent microcosm for people in general in the world. You have people who are more talented, you have people who are less talented, you have people who are better at things, and people who are worse at things. This is very evident through the past couple months where I've been trying to hire and train a team of chatters. Some people just have it, they're good right away. Other people, it doesn't matter what you do, they will never be good. And as I am now finally figuring out, there are some people who start out bad and eventually be good and eventually become good. However, in this video, we're going to take a little break. We're not going to talk about chatters. And we're going to talk about agency owners. We're going to talk about the differences between the good agency owners and the bad agency owners. Much like there are good employees and there are bad employees, there are good business owners and bad business owners. Now, being somebody who has developed into a good business owner, or at least improved into a business owner who is much, much better than I was when I started, I believe that I am a good authority to speak on this subject because I have been through it myself. And in this video, I'm going to go over 5 differences between good OnlyFans management agency owners and bad ones. Number 1. And I'm shortening this to OFM people because fucking saying OnlyFans management agency owners, 5 billion times is just too long. Number 1, good OFM people take effective action. Bad OFM people spin their wheels. So I don't know everybody who does OFM. I can only speak about myself. But I can tell you that when I started taking specific actions, business fucking went through the roof. And up until that point, I was spinning my wheels and I was wasting my time with stuff that wasn't important. I wrote here effective action. What does that mean? Maybe not the best way to describe it. But let's say that in order to build a good OnlyFans agency, let's say there's 100 things you need to do. And let's say out of those 100 things, let's say there are 5 or 3 or 2 that are the most important things that you should be spending the majority of your day on. For example, you get what I'm saying, right? Let's say, and I'll just, tell you what I realize that they are, is sales. It is a game of sales. Is it a game? It is a game of hiring salespeople, training salespeople, managing salespeople, developing salespeople, cultivating a good environment of salespeople, otherwise known as chatters, so that they can bring money in. That is literally the best thing that you can do with your time if you run an OnlyFans agency. And it is surprisingly something that I never hear anybody talk about it. Chatting is mentioned like casually in an offhand way sometimes by some people. I made videos about OFM for fucking like a year and a half. I barely mentioned chatting. And, I don't watch a lot of OFM content of other personalities, but I can't say that I have seen many videos about chatting. I don't think anybody's talking about it. And it's strange. I mean, it is what it is, right? People don't want to give away the secrets. They don't know. They don't understand. Fine. Who knows? But the point is that the people who are good at OFM, who are making the big money, they take effective action. Now, it doesn't only have to be chatting. It can be some other part of the OnlyFans management puzzle that is also very important that they have an aptitude for and they just happen to excel at. Let's say, for example, you're really good at making Tinder accounts that don't die in fucking 10 seconds. Effective action would be making those fucking accounts. This is actually something that I remember from when Goodnight John kind of came onto the scene, is that he would post screenshots of his Dolphin Auntie account and they would all be labeled. It would be like, oh, Jennifer, Miami, Tinder. Jennifer, fucking New York, Tinder. And he would post screenshots of that shit all day, every day. And I was like, man, this guy's over here fucking putting in work, making these profiles by himself. Now, I've dipped my toes in the Tinder profile making pool, and it was quite cold, too cold for me, and I jumped out very quickly. But I know that I could have done it, right? I could have, instead of making videos, instead of fucking around on Telegram, instead of writing fucking articles, instead of doing the billion other things that I decided to do for a year and a half, I could have sat there and I could have said, okay, it's fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to sit here and make Tinder accounts until noon. I'm going to do it for 4 hours, and I'm not going to fucking do anything else until these accounts are made. That would be effective action. So the bottom line, let's say you're a bad OFM person and you're spinning your wheels and you're fucking around with bullshit. Identify this. This is something that helped me, right? Once I asked myself the question, what is the one thing that if I only focus on that one thing, I will make more money? Once I answered that question for myself, it became very clear to me what I should do to spend most of my time on, like what I should spend most of my time on. And it just happened to be at my stage in development at that time. It was, getting a team of chatters that weren't retarded. Number two, the second difference between good OFM owners and bad OFM owners is good OFM people work at a consistent pace. Bad OFM people are sporadic with their work. Now, of course, here, when I say work, what I mean is that work of the effective action that I mentioned before. Let's say that, the work you should be doing, the things you should be doing. Let's say it's building and managing your own chat team. Let's say that is the thing. You watch my videos and you're like, you know what, this guy, not only is he handsome and charming, but he's also happens to be right about this just by pure coincidence. I too will be building and managing and training my own sales team. That's going to be my new goal, is to do that. And you work on it really hard for a few days and you're all about it. And then you hit some snags and you stop because you're frustrated or you're pissed off or you get distracted with something. And then a couple of days later, like maybe not a lot of money comes in, maybe a chatter quits. And you're like, fuck, I should really do that. So you go and you start working on it again. And you've got all of these reasons, maybe legitimate reasons, why you're not doing it. Okay. It's not, it doesn't matter what it is, really. Okay. You've got a great reason. You're fucking, who knows? But the bottom line is that you are not working on what you need to be working on at a consistent pace. And if you're going to do something, if you want to accomplish something, you are more likely to accomplish it if you work on it consistently every single day, as opposed to working on it like a fucking monster for, a week and then taking a break and never touching it again. You want to build the habit of working on it. I think, I heard this from Grant Cardone, but I don't think he invented it. If something is worth doing once, it's worth doing every day. So, that keep that in mind when you're deciding what you should be doing, not just with OFM, but with anything, right? So work at a consistent pace, decide, schedule out your day, ask the question that I mentioned earlier, where it's like, what should I be spending most of my time on? If you're a chatter, what should you be spending most of your time on? What brings in the majority of the money? Now, if you work for me, my chatters have very specific roles. I have openers and closers. So that's maybe, that question might be a little bit easier for you to answer because you don't have too many things to select from. If you have an agency, okay, it's a lot harder. Number three, good OFM people surround themselves with other good people. Bad OFM people are surrounded by toxic people. So, now, I'm not saying that when I wasn't making money, like the people who were around me were toxic. That's not what I'm saying. So maybe I kind of just pulled this one out of my ass. But yeah, I guess this, now that I think about it, this really isn't fair. It makes it actually sound like I'm blaming everybody else for my issues. So let's go to hypothetical land here. And well, actually what I can tell you is this. Here, let's work at it from the reverse angle. If you want to make money, how do you do it? All right. You surround yourself with other people who are making money. You spend time with other people who are making money. You have conversations with other people who are making money. There is, I did this webcam boot camp and I got somebody signed up for it who he probably makes more money than everybody else in the boot camp combined. Everybody else combined. And, he became a customer of mine and I have since I've paid him probably double what he paid for the program in various, for help from him. But the help that he's given me is going to drastically increase my potential earnings. He didn't really help with the chatters. That's not really something he helped with. Maybe some small part of the hiring process he made slightly easier, but that wasn't, it was a slight convenience. It wasn't like something that was really a game changer, but still he's helped me in other ways that are going to eventually lead to a lot more money coming into my pocket. And it's things like that, right? So the challenge is, how do you find these people? I know there's groups, like there's high earner groups. And I guess you're probably better off, joining some of those high earner groups as opposed to like the general population. But whatever you can do to surround yourself, or really, it's not even really, I'm not saying surround yourself like, oh, I need to have 50 people around me who are all making money and then I'll just absorb it by osmosis. That's not what it means. I guess what it really is have conversations with people who are making money. If you just focus on having conversations with those people about anything, eventually you will talk to them about what they're doing to make that money. And you'll maybe ask them questions. They'll maybe give you some insight about things that will help a lot more. I use the webcam bootcamp as an example. Before we did the bootcamp, I didn't know the two African geniuses who ended up partnering with me on that. Didn't know them at all. I saw them post in my Telegram group. They were like, hey, we've got this way to get traffic. It doesn't, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay us. All this stuff, blah, 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 let us know. And I was like, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. Let me send them a message and see what it is. So I sent them a message. They told me what it was. We scheduled a call. And now as a result of me having conversations with them, yes, of course I did work on the back end and I fucking set up the accounts and recruited models and blah, blah, blah. But like in addition to the amount of money that I made from selling the bootcamp, I also have girls who are camming now who are bringing in money. So and none of that would have happened if I did not have an actual conversation with these people. And that's I would say, I'm not going to say all of the money that I've made, but and now that I think about it, you are not going to make any money in this business without talking to other people who are good people, right? Your chatters need to be good people. Your models need to be good people. Any sort of peripheral business that you do needs to be done with good people. So go out of your way to engage in conversation, private conversation, with people who you consider to be good people, and you will make more money. Number 4, good OFM people look for solutions. Bad OFM people complain about their problems or talk about their shortcomings. So I have said many times in my, let's say, I need to really define these two phases of my OFM journey. The first year and a half, we'll call that, what's coming to mind is the brokey phase. It wasn't quite a brokey, but let's call it the brokey phase. When I was in the brokey phase, I don't know if I was really complaining, but I would say things like, oh, I suck at traffic. Oh, I'm not good at traffic. Oh, traffic is so hard. And that's not an empowering thing to say about yourself. Even now, I catch myself saying stuff about dating apps. Oh, dating apps are so hard. Oh, it's so this, it's so that. And when I say those things, I know that I shouldn't be saying it. I know it's not a good idea for me to say it. I say it in private conversations with people too. It's not a good habit to be in. But one of the things that I actually also, he didn't tell me this, but also from the guy who took the webcam boot camp, who's making all this money, he's very resourceful. And from my conversations with him, I got the impression that this guy has a solution for everything. And if he doesn't have a solution for something, because he probably asked more questions than anybody in the webcam bootcamp, and he's already making more money than everybody, but he asked more questions than everyone. So he's very solution oriented. He's always looking for a solution. And as a result, he was able to help me in many ways, which I paid him for, but he was still able to help me, money well spent, by the way, because he had the solutions. And these are solutions that I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know it was possible to do these things. But because he was solution oriented, he found them over the course of his, OFM journey. And, I'm sure they contributed to where he is right now. So you want to be solution oriented. And I think this way as well. I have more so this attitude when I'm managing my chat team. I'm thinking to myself, okay, the problem is whatever, this guy's not selling, this guy's struggling on this account. This chatter, I yell at him fucking every day. He's not doing anything better. Instead of firing him, what's the solution? Oh, well, I can make these two guys work together. I can turn this guy into an opener. I can shuffle things around. And now, things have gotten much better. So doing that instead of complaining, saying, oh, this guy sucks, that guy sucks. This is so hard. I hate chatters. I hate Filipino people, whatever. I don't, by the way. But Bottom line is to be solution oriented. Number 5, good OFM people have high retention. Bad OFM people have high turnover. So this is the case with models. This is the case with chatters. This is the case with virtual assistants. I remember hearing this, like these statistics from, these corporate LinkedIn fucking websites or whatever. And it's like, our employee retention is so good. Our average employee stays for 7 years. And I remember hearing that and thinking like, who the fuck cares? Like, fuck your stupid company. Like, who cares that some guy stayed there for 7 years? Probably a fucking loser anyway. I didn't realize at the time that really is impressive to be able to keep somebody for that long. Number one, it says that the business is good enough that it can support paying a fucking salary to this person for that long. Like, show me somebody who's even had a business for 7 years. That shit's not easy. Let alone one that employed somebody that has a very marketable skill that demands a high salary. It's not an easy thing to do. And when you're able to do it, when you're able to retain lots of people for a very long time, whether they're models or chatters or virtual assistants or whatever, it shows that like they have chosen to stay with you for a reason. They can go and look for another job. They can, go look for other options. And have I ever had somebody quit? I don't think I've ever had somebody quit. Well, no, I have. I've had a couple chatters, but they were there for like a week. So it's not, I don't really count them. It wasn't like a long time person. And I have had some models quit. Actually, my first model who ever earned a lot of money, she quit because the chatter wasn't really representing her accurately. Learning experiences, but she did stay with me for a pretty long time and we're still friends. So whatever. Anyway, the point is that what you want to do is you want to look for ways to retain the people that you have for as long as possible. I'm not telling you to like pressure them into signing contracts, which are unenforceable anyway, let's be honest. But what you want to do, ideally, what you would want to do is you want to make the benefits of working for you so overwhelming that they actually want to work for you for a long time. They enjoy working for you. They like working for you. It's a point of pride for them to work for you. They feel like they're growing. They feel like they're advancing. They feel like there's more opportunities than whatever role you hired them for. And by the way, for me, that is the case with everybody. I don't know what I would have models do. I don't know like how I would promote a model from being a model to something else. And I don't think models are necessarily looking for that, to be honest with you. I think they're perfectly happy doing their fucking hour a day of social media content and having us do all the rest. Is it a woman thing? Is it a talent thing? I'm not sure. But the point is that you want to have high retention for the people that work for you. The best way to do that is to make it so that they enjoy working for you. Pay them well, pay them on time, give them extra opportunities. Don't make their life too miserable. And that's it. Those are the difference between good OFM owners and bad ones. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.